What do you guys think of this story? I don't want to see even women naked in the any bathroom of a gym. Okay, because no. And I've gone to gyms before, and they have these like weird shower areas, and even there, it's not very private. There's some reason why people think that we should be forced onto other people's privacy, this thing. And a lot of us, even as kids, none of us were like wanting to stroll around like in front of all these people anyway. There was a whole thing to that. And we were talking about in school too, with even the female coaches and stuff, where they could just view us all going naked and nobody would go in the shower. Um, but this one here sounds more like somebody took an opportunity to try to prey on some kids. I'm not sure. So some of these cases, it's hard to know because we're only listening to the witness saying it, and I don't know, like, is it another Karen story or did it really happen, right? I am questioning it because there's a lot of anti-LGBTQ stuff out here, but as they're showing the picture of them, I'm like, I don't know if that's a transgender. I mean, that's not somebody I would typically identify as one, but they don't all look the same, right? But this is what they claim. There was a couple of things in here that they write because it's on Fox, so they love these stories. Anyway, it says 911 audio captures woman at Planet Fitness reporting completely naked biological man in woman's locker room. Well, it wouldn't be that big a deal if somebody was just off getting dressed, right? You're not even paying attention to them. They're not trying to do anything weird, but they're claiming they did something totally weird. Okay, so the naked Planet Fitness member. I've never been to Planet Fitness. I've been to Gold's Gym. I've been to Crunch. I've been to LA Fitness and somewhere else. That's about it. Okay, so the Naked Planet Fitness member as transgenders while in the women's locker room, the 911 caller said. Okay. A shocked woman reported a naked biological man in a woman's locker room. I mean, it just sounds kind of stupid if people are just in there changing, right? And I'm like, I see this woman naked. I mean, honestly, there's been times that you would just want to call on that, but you know what I mean. Anyway, then the 911 call audio obtained by Fox News. An unidentified woman called the police after a 38-year-old Christopher allegedly barged into the women's locker room at the popular chain. The woman said Miller stripped completely naked inside the locker room. I mean, it like technically isn't that like what you're supposed to do in a locker room is like change and then, like just like that, okay, wait. She goes, "This is not an emergency. It's just me and my friend. We're all I'm okay, first of all, if you call 911, it's supposed to be emergency. I'm just saying. Um, and apparently the mom told her to call. So when she called, she's like, it's not an emergency. Well, it would be an emergency if somebody's preying on you, kids. So it was kind of weird. Okay, so anyway, they go, we're all, not minors. She's 17. So I'm assuming this is in a state where they consider 17-year-olds adults when they're not. This is North Carolina. Let me see something. 1 second. Okay, so in North Carolina, they're into raping some kids because they have an AOC of 16. This is why they're saying that. They are a minor, technically, they are a minor. Okay, but she's saying this. And she is a minor, so basically she got exposed to this egg. Okay, but that's for any adult. Like, if any random woman's doing that, why would it not be exposure as well if a female does it in front of another female, right? Right. So I had a problem with this as a kid because my mom was so happy and no fucks about it. And I'm like, dude, no, everybody wants to see your shit, and I'm a kid. So regardless of the gender, that type of conduct right there is bad. And depending on what they're doing here, okay, so it gets a little more intricate. So they go, but we were just flashed by a man in the bathroom. So you're like, flashed? Okay, so they heard 911 operator, and my parents told me to call to report it. Now, is it a thing where it was just a man in there changing and their parents like told them to make some shit up? Like, I don't know. I'm questioning it because it's a little weird. And so I see them here. Now, to me, I mean, if I saw that person just at random, I would think, maybe it's a homeless person and they're changing. I have no idea. Like, that Off the bat, I wouldn't have gone, oh, transgender, but maybe it is, and they're just that's just okay. The woman is heard saying Miller was still in the locker room at the time of her call. Yeah, he's still in the bathroom. It's a man, but he identifies as a woman and he won't leave the restroom. Yeah, so but they go like this. He was just walking around showing us his thing and he won't leave. Like, so they're claiming that he was just strolling around in the locker room naked and like showing him his thing. But then they go, the caller described 38-year-old Caucasian with dreadlocks to the authority. And what's he wearing? They're all nothing, literally nothing. Okay, so he's completely naked. He's completely naked. Okay, so then they said he was arrested for indecent exposure following an incident April 4th. Okay, there. The suspect was held on 25K bond. Miller allegedly barged. Okay, so this is where they said Miller allegedly barged into the locker room and stripped down completely naked in front of a 17-year-old girl. But they said the local news. Okay, now this is an addition. It wasn't on the 911 call. It said the suspect allegedly asked the teen to rub lotion and shower together. Now, if they did that, yeah, but I didn't. How? Okay, so how would it not be an emergency, right? So that's why I'm questioning the case. Not that this can't happen, because I'm sure it's somewhere, but I'm just saying. When I heard the audio, they played the audio. She's like, "It's not an emergency. There's just a naked man in there." But I didn't hear nothing about the teen said that they wanted them to rub lotion on him and shower together. Yes, if they did that, then that's an additional thing. So that would be the problem. So I don't know if I don't know if it's, I'm questioning it. I'm questioning it, but they also don't consider this 17-year-old girl a kid. She is a kid. I was a kid, you're a kid. That's insane. But they keep saying that they're against pedophiles and all that stuff, but their state literally consider her an adult. No, that's a child. Okay, so we're gonna go over here. Then they say that members are allowed to use locker rooms based on their self-reported gender identity. Okay, yeah, but this again, the way that they view this is so bizarre because it could happen with a woman doing it. You could be in the woman's restroom and a female does that. Why is that okay? We're not okaying it. I don't know who out here be making that shit up because we would not okay it. Will you rub lotion on me? Like, no one even flinches on that one. It's like, you want to rub lotion on me, take a shower together? Oh, I don't know. It hasn't happened to me, but all members will have access to restroom and locker room facilities that correspond to their self-reported gender identity to the extent permitted by applicable law. But that wasn't the problem, right? Because if they just went in there and did what they were supposed to do, nothing would have happened. Instead, they're alleging that they started just stripping down naked, following them around, and asked them to rub lotion and jump in a shower. So regardless of the gender, what the hell? Okay, so, but also, why are these bathrooms like so non-private? Like, what is your deal with that? Like, why is it like that? Just general. I'm telling you, I'm not the one that has a problem with the share any of the bathroom things, but there's literally no privacy because I don't care who you are. I don't need you sitting there doing that shit. None of it. It doesn't matter like who it is. Um, I swear every bathroom's been like this. Okay, so even we went somewhere else too. They one place they ran out of shower things, we did a shower thing, and it was an open shower thing, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm not into it, dude. I'm not into it. Why do I have to suffer through that kind of shit? Why are you guys all up into that? That's just me general. It doesn't matter. Female, male, nothing. Okay, at Planet Fitness, the safety of our employees and members is our top priority. But did it happen? Like, this is a question. I don't know how I feel about it because it wasn't on the call and then they're downgrading it and they said their parents told them to do that, to call. Okay, so she's uncomfortable with it. I don't have a problem with her being uncomfortable with it because me personally I'm uncomfortable with either one of y'all. So, but to sit there, I hope in this case it's not a thing where they made up something because they didn't want a transgender in the bathroom. That's my main point of that. So then the gym chain has recently been in the limelight after they sprung the defense of transgender person who photographed shaving. Okay, so this is another one. Like, this is like nobody's doing anything wrong. Some transgender was shaving in the women's locker room. Are they harming anyone? No. I wouldn't even have thought twice of that one as long as nobody. See, but if you're going to do this, you need to have more privacy in the bathroom, okay? This is my thing. Just generally for everyone, male, female. I'm really stressing this point. I stressed this point a long ago, too, where I was like, you can't force yourself onto anybody when they're uncomfortable with something. That's fine. They're uncomfortable, they're uncomfortable. You have to care about that. So, me, I'm taking the stance that regardless if it's a male or female, we privacy. Hello, like what's the deal with that? How much does it cost to add some little, different privacy things for everybody so these issues don't arise, right? Because to me, like just walking in a bathroom and someone's shaving, it's like I wouldn't even give a what. So they alerted an employee, and then they came out of Planet Fitness, and there's a man shaving in the women's bathroom. And yeah, so then she says she loves the individual as spiritual being having a human experience, but she's not comfortable with the individual shaving in her bathroom. But he's not doing anything to you. And then they got massive support across the country. I'm gonna start shaving in the women's bathroom, my face. So if I'm shaving my legs, it's gonna freak her out. Like that part doesn't bother me. Like the part that bothers me is the privacy thing, with the shower thing and all that, because anybody could perpetrate on you with that. I'm just generally overall not comfortable. It's something I had issues with as a kid, and I still will today. And I think everybody, it's just like you're trying to force some other bullshit on somebody where they're uncomfortable. You don't have to agree with why they're uncomfortable, but you're forcing your shit on them. So I do agree in that portion, but not because it's just a man. Again, I would have problems if I saw her up in there and I'm coming out of the shower. Period. That's just me. I'm uncomfortable. So should I call on you? Back in the day in our school thing, they would literally make fun of kids that were overweight or any other thing. That's like the worst. That was like the kiss of death. Like, there's no way you're going to be getting all naked in front of these like little fucking toothpicks, okay? That was like an addition. That was like an addition to like the whole thing. They were bullying me so bad. And then there was this thing where I talked about this multiple times where they had this huge window with the coach, the female coach who we thought may have been gay. I don't know. She lesbian. I don't know. And we're like, she'd be watching us all through that window. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it was like this big window that oversaw the whole dressing room. So they were able to watch all the kids through this thing. And one night I went on this whole thing on Twitter. It was so ridiculous. It went into Crazyville because there was all these crazy posts on Quora, is that what it's called? Where they were claiming that back in the day, like the schools forced them to get naked with each other and swim. It was kind of funny. It was kind of funny. I was like, did they really do that? They didn't do that shit. But I was talking about the real thing about it, where they forced kids to get naked, and they were trying to say that if you didn't do the shower thing, then they would fail you. And I was like, I refuse. There's no way in hell. You couldn't even pay me to do that. I go, good, let them fail me. I'm not jumping in the shower in this place. Because they oversaw the adults. The female adults, the coaches, were able to watch all the kids take a shower and get naked. And I was like, no way. There was no privacy. Like, they literally took your defenses down to that thing. And the last thing you want to do is start stripping in front of people that bully you and make fun of your size and all those other things. So that was like the addition I was saying. So then, so that, and I go, there's no man up in here. I go, this is about our own gender. I go, there's something about it where they're like, take away their defenses and not give a shit. And I'm like, oh, so I should be happy just stripping down. Now, some people are into other females, right? So what is the difference in that conduct with female on female, but they don't necessarily even need to be into other females. They can sexually abuse you without even being into you. So That's when they could have taped you. There was a whole bunch of things back then that, well, they used to carry around those tossable cameras. They didn't have. I'm the only one that I know of that had the video camera, to my knowledge, but I didn't have the video camera yet in this one thing. But I was kind of like, yeah, I was totally right, I think, from that point on, because I still have that stance today. It wasn't something like, oh, I got all this information, something changed so much that now my point of view has changed. No, my point of view is the same. In fact, I picked up, I think, on the right thing of being creeped out by the coaches, like looking at children undressing. Like, what is the purpose of that? Can somebody tell me? Like, if there's a problem in the locker room, then there's a way for somebody to go get a teacher. But why are they able to just sit there and monitor and watch everybody get naked and take a shower? And today you hear a lot of the stories about the coaches and the school, people preying on the children then, but that wasn't even really the big conversation then, but between my friends and us, when we were talking about stuff, I was like, yeah, that was one thing, but we turned it kind of into a joke, like she be like, look, like this thing, but it was a real concern, and at least on my part. So, yeah, I mean, so you're just talking about overall privacy issues. You're talking about overall privacy issues. But again, if I just walked into the women's, thing and somebody's just standing there shaving, I wouldn't even really think twice about it unless I see them perpetrating into areas that they shouldn't be. And again, it could happen with a female doing it, and that what is the difference? Why are they okay with women perpetrating on other females? They're not calling 911 because some woman's doing this. Like most of the time, they're not going to call 911 because they find it very comfortable for women to cross the line and do those things. And I always had problems. My mom needed to learn some boundaries, dude. Like for real. Like what the hell? And but yeah, she just wanted to force her like bullshit on me as a kid. And no, it's not. No. But she did it in front of other people and other guys too. That's why I was like, man, that shit right there. I don't consent to it. Those people might consent to it. I don't consent to it. I think that's an issue where people are having issues with. I don't consent to it. And if these people want to have a problem with it, then you do need to do something about maybe the structure of the bathroom. I don't know. But but these are like uh fitness facilities. I never understood it. I was like, they used to have these wide open shower things and there was no door either. I was part of a country club back in the day when I was a kid, and they didn't have, to my memory, they didn't have like a, I don't know if they even had a door. If they did, I'm having a memory loss. But there was other places where they didn't even have a door. And I was like, no way. These like I'm a kid, right? And there's a lot of predators and they can be female. And they just did that with these random adults roaming around. How do you know that the a random female is not going to prey on me in this place where these little minors are, right? We were minors throughout the whole thing. And I bring my little friends over there.